Save them.
We're gonna start at 7:02. Like to call to order the Townsend Conservation Commission meeting for Wednesday, June 25th, 2025 at 7:02 p.m. Can I have a roll call starting with Mike, please?
Mike Potts said present.
James Dorian, present.
James Gates, present.
Pat Gilmore, present.
Is there an agenda?
Don't know. He wants an agenda?
No.
Mhm.
If you don't mind standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. Yes.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This meeting is being recorded. Is anyone else recording? Chairman's petitions and resolutions. Under work session 3.2, Town Property Committee property suggestions. Correspondence. The Town Property Committee. That's to appoint a representative on conservation behalf.
Yeah, everybody know it's Kevin.
He's on the commission, isn't
The committee, yes. So he just had, it's a formal yearly thing.
he? So he will go.
If we vote it, vote
Okay.
that. So we're at 4.1. CPC, Brett,
Townsend Property Commission
yep, committee.
Committee.
And 4.2, select board appointments and reappointments. And then next meeting we have, we'll have 6.1, Michelle Zelenka from Climate Action Plan.
Could you repeat that a little louder?
The next, so 6.1, Michelle Zelenka, I'm probably butchering that. From Climate Action Plan would like to talk to us about it.
Is she DEP? Everybody has an entity they work under.
I can answer that
No.
question when we get
And
to
when we
it.
get to it.
Just, it's on my
I
email, I
just
can look through it.
had an outlaw of curiosity. They're deleting and making new people, yeah.
All right, chair report. Jimmy, did you fill out a volunteer form?
I should do that this week.
Yeah, you
I
probably
didn't.
should.
When's the last day? Is it today or something?
It was, yeah, I think it was yesterday. But you can get reappointed the July 1st meeting. You can vote. So I'm gonna add, I'll
Only
backtrack.
because I forgot to do it. I got hot today.
Fine. So I'm gonna go back and 3.3, reappointment request by Jim Dorian. Chair report, asking Jimmy about his volunteer. Press form was mostly it. Anything else will be covered in the agent's report. Review and approve meeting minutes from May 14th. Everyone have a chance to review? Any questions, comments, concerns? Colby. Under it would be under the agent report. Line 10 with the enforcement order. You have me recuse myself. I left the room, correct? Yes. So can we add that, please? Oh, sure.
That'll be just an add, not
Correct.
redact or anything.
So, and then he has rejoins the meeting, which makes sense. So, I make a motion to approve the May 14th meeting minutes with the addition to the line of where I recuse myself that I leave the room.
I'll second it.
Roll call.
Mike Potts, yes?
James Strong, yes.
James Gates, yes.
Pat Generally, yes.
Great, Colby.
Records away.
Okay, agent report for 625, site visits. We had 19 Cedar Circle. The property owner is putting a small house on their property, tiny house. There is a wetland buffer on the property, but where the proposed location is not within that buffer. So there are no wetlands involved. 2 Capricorn, there's a COC site check.
Sorry.
And certificate of compliance. They finished their project. The grass is grown in, and they've already mowed it once.
This is the one with the double silk fence
Oh,
off of Ash Street.
Do you need to? Is that a vote?
yeah.
Yeah.
Did you perform the site check?
I did. Yeah.
And everything was to your
As of
side?
June 18th.
And even with the silt fencing still down, or everything was all cleaned and
Well, no,
mowed
the silt
and
fence
stuff?
should have still been up. So
Silt
it should
fence is
remain
still
up.
there.
So that needs to get put on the next agenda.
Next agenda. Okay.
Yep, under the work session. COCs are under work session.
Okay. Then we'll put 106 Haynes Road COC here on the next
Can you
agenda
do
as
that?
well.
inspection?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Are those ready to pull the trigger on as far as they're all clean and clear?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did everybody thought before that, before you went back out? I mean, is this already been checked out, right?
Yeah, we did sidewalks. I mean,
Because I,
what was
Do you
Haynes Road?
want to do the site walk on these? Or does it?
So historically,
Depends.
for a completed order of conditions, the agent does the site walk. If he sees any, or she sees any discrepancies that we need to look at,
It comes back to the table.
then,
okay,
you know, it's thrown out there to the commission.
Mm-hmm.
If, Pat, you feel the need to do a site walk, obviously we'll accommodate it, you know?
I just wondered, I don't want to be out of a loop of anything, like,
So Capricorn was, I think you were there.
Mm-hmm.
It was off of Ash Street. It was last year, I think, about this time.
Wasn't it?
A really short drive
oh, yeah,
or a road.
So this is on the tail end of it. It's grown in, it's established. So these are just the finishing, closing the file, making sure all the orders of conditions were complied with.
okay.
Don't we leave the option up to a commissioner to go out on his own to look at it?
Yes.
To get, it's not, we don't all have to go out scheduled one.
Except I usually, I don't know about it. I mean,
So Colby had gone out on his own, or they had requested a completed order conditions immediately after I reminded them.
Is that how that happened?
And so if you, again, if you feel the need, Colby could set up something, or he could at least reach out to the homeowners and say, oh, one of our commissioners will stop by, one day. Just,
yeah, I mean, I don't have to go out to, it's just I'd like to know ahead what's going on, like, he's gonna be doing this or whatever, just.
Even if it's a drive-by, and you
Yeah.
don't even tell the owners, look
So-
in, see what you gotta look at, get a few notes from Kobe, what he blessed, and
so there's a little bit of time. We're not gonna vote on the completed order of conditions time.
Mhm.
It'll be the July 1st, or July
Nice.
9th.
July.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that if you want to drive by, you'll be able to, if that works for you.
Yeah, alright.
So, obviously, you've got the paperwork and we've just added to the agenda.
Okay.
And then those two, and
Well,
Done.
and if Pat drives by, or Mike wants to go look at them, or you want to, we have until then to do that.
Okay.
Sorry, Mike, if I'm talking quietly.
Well, it's the
It's
sound of that, and I don't have my hearing aids on.
Oh, wow,
So because I went by 2 Peter J Drive again, met with Mrs. Fergus, and they're on the schedule for tonight, the agenda, excuse me. Spent some time checking out town properties suggested by the TPC Town Properties Committee. And we'll go over those later as well. As far as building permits and Board of Health sign-offs, we had 1 Jonathan Lane. They're installing a pool. There's no wetlands involved. 401 Main Street, they have to install a temporary house for renovations of their main house.
Is that the one that was on fire? So that had the fire?
or
I
one,
don't know.
Patton's Garage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the only one I can imagine, 401.
I'd have to look it up.
I should know Main Street, that's West
I
Townsend.
do know there's no wetlands there. Okay. Ted Woodland Drive, they're doing a deck replacement, there's no wetlands there. 1 Trophy Ave, they're doing an ADU, additional dwelling unit, which is no wetlands involved. And 2 Jeffs Ave, they're putting in a pool, and there's no wetlands involved there.
That's
Yeah.
always good when you can say there are no, wetlands.
That's it. That's all I have for you.
No wetlands.
Does that work for you, Pat, with the,
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, I didn't know about the recent site visit.
No, it wasn't a site
No,
visit.
the one that we
We
were
have our
supposed to,
budget report.
someone was gonna go today or yesterday.
What was the site visit we met? It wasn't,
Right in
we
front of
didn't
you.
call a site visit, did we?
I'm
yeah,
sorry?
they did today. It was sent out yesterday.
Yeah, see, I
where?
didn't get that either.
Oh, I didn't get any sidewalk
It's in emails.
test.
I don't know how else to do it.
Text, I know it's a pain.
Or a small
Again, we
board.
don't have a DEP number, we can't go any further with it.
I get it. I voice the same point.
So that you're talking about that one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I thought you were talking about the completed order of conditions, that's why I kept referring to it, so.
And I had no clue of the sidewalk either. I would have been there.
Please get the email.
Let them have a computer,
I don't want to,
just,
well,
Well, maybe
it's-
you could email me, I mean, not email, but
I
put it
think
on
we
my
can discuss
phone.
this individually after.
Maybe
Okay.
later? Okay.
Okay.
All right,
I'm ready for it. I'm ready for the discussion.
What,
No,
text
we
message
all have to
is
work.
out?
No, we all have to work together, so if that means that, Jimmy, if I have to text you when these things are happening, I will.
I don't think communicating for sidewalk is hard.
Okay. So,
Moving on.
There's nothing out of the ordinary in the budget, but
well, so I had asked you and Nelson about our education fund, because it didn't show on the town report, but it's here, so.
the training or the education, which number?
Our $5,000
Yeah.
account that we had.
Does that
We had
still
Arctic.
lie in the WPA account?
No, that's a separate account that I fought for,
Okay,
or we
That's-
all fought for.
right,
That was voted on at the town meeting or special town meeting last year.
right.
So
That
when,
stays in conservation, it doesn't go
Yep.
out into.
it doesn't
the
go anywhere
town.
else. It's used for us to do
Right,
community outreach, educational outreach, stuff that I hope we can do when we get the commission.
The only expenditures in there are for the class, I believe, through MACC, Massachusetts Association of Conservation Commissions.
and that we usually draw from the Wetland Protection Act account we use. You know, I assume that's what account we use. Mhm.
I think that's on the town budget, that gets voted on every year. Because it just got reduced. You know, that much.
Yeah, in the future,
Some of the account went into the town, fund.
As far as
No,
our training account,
our
we're talking
training,
about the same thing.
right, so in the future, I understand you got thrown into all this. We try to, as commission, at least discuss the budget. So as far as education outreach goes, if they don't want to pay for it, then we'll just take it out of the $5,000.
But we've always had money for that. That's always been something that we've always had the ability, if it isn't in the WPA, town has allowed it.
So you've got $470 on this wild and scenic grant from last year that has to be spent, right?
I'm very aware, and I have orders ready to go.
What are they? We should vote on that.
What was that, some of the money left over from the
Yeah, there's a
survey,
little bit of money left.
from the survey that they did on that one?
It's great, the grant money, yeah.
Ate that all up too, every bit of it.
Well, that's how it's planned.
Right,
Now this year's wild and scenic grant got submitted, right?
Yes. Should be hearing back, well, they said at the end of this month. but have not heard from them yet.
So a couple more days.
As far as expending that grant money, I was gonna put it towards more signage, more nails, and iron posts for the corners. Does that make sense?
In post, just, can we use rebar?
Rebar posts, yes.
I have rebar we can use. Like scrap. To me, it's scrap.
Get something else?
No, like, I don't know, signs eat up a lot of money. And you gotta get mounting hardware, nails.
Yeah.
Aluminum nails, so. That should be discussed and voted on before purchase is made.
So those are gonna be for the boundary corners on that property? Steel rebar?
That was the idea.
All right, I gotta pull this meeting back together because we're wandering,
Please.
which is my fault, not no one else's.
Okay,
Sorry,
that's it.
Jimmy.
Go.
So you can read the.
Yeah.
Please. Um, 2.1, we're a little late. Because of me. 7:24. "15 Proctor Road, notice of intent, TWB 2025-003, approximately 7:15 PM. Applicant Thomas Kingsley filed the notice of temporary replacement of a septic system to an existing single-family house. Projects take place within the riverfront area. I make a motion to. All right, we're back after technical difficulties.
Too much longer.
No.
Where the front areas?
So a couple of things I noticed on this map when I color coded it was that the 50-foot mark, the symbol on the legend is for
Your screen sharing, just so you know.
the 100-foot mark,
Oh, single dot?
single dot. So-
Okay, correct, single dot.
So either,
Limit
Can
100
you
foot.
point that out to Pat so she can see it?
Yeah.
No, I can, watch it
Okay.
from there, yep.
Just making sure.
He's pointing so I can tell.
and the other thing, should Matt's name be on this somewhere?
Excuse me, we're back and the screen sharing is apparently taking place.
Yes, thank you. I thought it was on there.
I'm looking, I don't see anything.
So,
I looked, maybe I've missed it.
Matt, can you put a letter?
I don't put a stamp on it.
So CC'd. You did the highlighting, Bob?
Oh, I did.
Jesus.
You did?
Christ.
Yeah.
How did-
So your nickname to Jimmy is Bob.
Yeah, Mike, I'm sorry. But
He starts talking about Bob, and I'm like, who?
did you notice that? So,
Yeah, I've done two of these. I do the 50-foot in pink.
Yeah.
But then the legend has, this symbol is for 100.
100 foot, you're right.
Yeah, I can have them correct the legend, but I need to point out that the plan itself, which is what you're considering, actually is labeled 50 feet. So it's not like it's mislabeled. It says 50 feet.
Right,
So it's
that's-
clearly 50 feet.
That's right.
The 100-foot buffer zone and the 200-foot encompasses the whole property, so it actually wound up being off the lot. So there was no sense in putting the 100-foot there. I can have them change that particular detail and just change it from 100 to 50. He simply must have just forgot to do the cut and paste on his computer. It's not a big deal.
Okay, and so shouldn't that name be on it somewhere? Or not?
Are you representing that, or did you sign up?
I am not an engineer or a sanitarian. I have
Right.
no right to stamp these plans. They're stamped by the engineer that reviewed them.
So you're purely here on presenting.
I'm the environmental consultant that the analysis on the lot, and I'm here to represent the project.
So he doesn't need to have.
Doesn't need it, okay.
No, but on the notice of intent, it is presented as,
From Littleton?
nope, Matthew Mara.
Yeah, okay, right.
Oh, because that's his end of it. He's doing the environmental. Okay.
And the
So
other,
I'm doing the NOI and the presentation.
So the engineers are out of Littleton, Civil Solutions Incorporated, Littleton Road, blah, 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 Westford, Mass. They're on
Alright.
Littleton Road. Got it?
Yeah, they did the Board of Health
So
presentation.
they send you in for these projects?
That's correct. I have
I got you.
Civil Solutions I'm working with, and Innovative Septic Design, Evan Carloni, I also work with. as well.
Okay, just,
Yep.
that clears
Okay.
something up for,
and the other thing I noticed, and I don't know what the usual is, but the symbol for this, the silt fence just goes down to the surface, goes down to grade. Isn't it supposed to go 6 inches down?
conversation. If required, I assume.
No,
through
it
the
is
commission.
required.
It
Part of
says-
it's standard practice.
This is a standard detail, and it says siltation fencing with bottom edge under wattles.
Under, so that's different verbiage.
So that's why it's not in there, the 6 inches.
Yeah.
The wattles are on top of it.
That displays
So you
roll
use-
under.
You put,
Oh, so if the wattle goes right up against it, you don't need to bury it 6 inches? Is that what you're saying?
yeah, and it's a nice way to do it. So what you do is you stake in all your silt fence, and then you put your wattle on top of the flap and stake the wattle in. So that now the flap is tight to the ground, and the
Right.
wattle's holding and slows it down.
And
So
then
in
the
other
normal
words,
standard
you're
is to
saying-
stake it in every 5 feet.
Right. Okay.
So standard
operating
operating procedure in that is that you're gonna,
Well, it's
instead
one
of
of,
putting it
it's one
under
of
the ground,
ones.
you're gonna roll it underneath and stake that
Yep.
in at the same time.
It's an acceptable method.
Right, yep, stable.
And how much of the silt fence is on the ground surface?
It's at 6 inches.
See, that's, okay. about-
Yeah, so you have enough to get it under the wattle and then
Right.
drive the
Get the
stakes in.
stakes in.
And the stakes are holding the actual fabric.
Okay,
Idea of it is to get a stake into that silt fence, 'cause that's just what's gonna
Well, the
hold
silt
that.
fence is already staked. These are additional.
Correct, but that just gives that silt fence a lot more
Yep.
from ever rolling out and letting. I've seen it do it too.
Yes, because the soil will undermine it occasionally. It will, no silt fence is ever gonna be
No,
perfect, so
no.
that's why monitoring is best way. All right, Matt, now that we've done technical
So you
issues
must have
and,
been in the office checking these out.
Yeah.
I got you.
and we found your mailing, receipt. If you don't mind going through and introducing yourself.
My name is
You know the deal.
Matthew Morrow. I am the principal wetland scientist of a firm called Matthew S. Morrow Environmental Consulting of Leominster, Massachusetts. As you guys may recall, I am a certified professional wetland scientist that has been in the field for over 35 years. The project I have presented for you tonight is for a septic replacement at 15 Proctor Road. The entirety of the lot is within the riverfront resource area. It is within the inner riparian zone because of the constraints of the lot as it relates to the perennial stream. Under the Wetland Protection Act, a system that was put in place prior to, I believe it was April of 1983, if it does not have the setback requirements under Title V, it's grandfathered under the Wetland Protection Act standards. This system dates back to the 1970s. The existing system is a cesspool with a tank. Both are going to be crushed. And we're going to have a new system compliant with a new tank put in. This system has been approved by the Board of Health.
Yeah, that's all. Usually it's
So-
been done by that, if it's here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Normally, my standard practice when I do septic systems, because, I'll probably have more like these before you in the future, is I do not do a notice of intent or file anything until the Board of Health has approved the septic system, unless the commission has a policy dictating otherwise.
For an NOI or an
For
RDA?
NOI, RDA, anything.
So in other words, they give you the flag to move forward, even bothering with that file.
Well, the thing is if
But
I
it's a
file them
redo for a
concurrently,
septic system,
Right.
it's a.
right. So what happens is if I file them concurrently and the Board of Health hasn't approved it, the Board of Health could turn around and make changes. And then I'm
Okay,
stuck having to amend the plan. So once the Board of Health
okay,
settles with the applicant on a plan and I have a final stamped plan, then I can present to you guys, this is what the Board of Health has approved.
right, that's your method of the madness, I was just wondering, so Mike McCaffrey, you could change some, all right, upgrade, degrade, whatever.
Exactly.
We're listening.
So you have a bordering vegetated wetland that both myself and my assistant, my staff biologist, Molly DeCosta, delineated. I delineated the mean annual high water mark.
How big of a BBW wasn't that large?
No, actually, it went to I didn't flag the entirety of the lot because it wasn't necessary to establish the buffer zone. But, I had a good, basically half the distance of the lot if you want to go linear. So it was a pretty good size. There's a pretty good sized wetland back there.
All right,
And when there is actually, where you have elevation 100, then it goes back down to 98, then it starts dropping precipitously.
I don't have
So,
this, right, you
I'll show
got
you.
it.
So right here.
It downgrades heading this way?
Yeah, so basically right here as it goes
Okay.
down, this is a knoll up on the top.
Yeah,
The wetland goes all the way around back this way, and you've got a large system right over here bordering this perennial stream.
okay. Did you
So
follow that?
these particular jobs usually take like a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
We have the erosion protection would be put up. Colby would be notified,
Or else send one of the commissioners in to check the
Right,
slope.
so you guys will
Sometimes
get-
if he's busy, I'll go out, peek at stuff.
right, whatever minimum notification you want, 48 hours, 72 hours a week.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, look, keep going.
So, that's basically it. It's pretty straightforward and simple. I don't have a DEP number yet. I know they've been busy. I did file this in plenty of time. My checks have already been cashed. The only comment that I can see them making on this is probably a comment that they normally make with these replacements now about the age of the septic system predating April of 1983, which this one does, but in spades.
because of what they want to.
Because of the grandfathering.
Okay,
Grandfathering from Title V. If it doesn't meet that age requirement, it has to have like an exemption approval from the Board of Health, which is again, the other reason why I get Board of Health approval before I come in. It means they've analyzed those setbacks and
get it.
they've analyzed the efficacy of the system and they're satisfied that it protects groundwater.
So, moving forward.
Correct.
Yeah. Any other comments on that? Yeah, you have.
Not really. It seems pretty straightforward.
I am gonna have to
That's
request a
interesting how you
continuance
picked up on-
because the DEP number,
that-
depending on when your next
and then-
meeting is, I may not be here because I have a
Yeah.
vacation planned out of the country beginning of July, so.
Yeah, July 9th is our next meeting.
Yeah, so my associate Molly or Kirk Fitzpatrick, who was part of Civil Solutions, might zoom in and represent.
Okay.
Honestly, I'm just figuring that there'd be no issues left at that point.
Yeah. It's pretty straightforward. Okay.
Do you have any questions?
And
Oh, lucky you.
last summer and fall was difficult for my wife because of her mom. And her mom passed away last November.
Sorry.
She lived with us. And my wife has been handling her estate and her affairs and, with
There's a
her
lot.
siblings and
Yep.
I just booked a vacation to get her out of Dodge for a while.
That's
Get
very
done with
nice
that
of you.
stuff.
So-
and head out.
Part of the limit of clearing over the silt fences is 26 feet. Where you have the 26-foot mark, Matt.
Yep.
How far is it to the corner of the septic tank from the wetlands buffer? Is it closer than 35 feet? Is it right on it?
The tank is probably about 35 feet, probably right on it. The leach field itself is 39 feet.
Yeah, I saw that.
You keep in mind two things. One, this is as optimal a siting as you
Oh, no,
can get on this. Second thing is that this is going underground and it's existing lawn.
Mhm.
So existing lawn, it will remain.
That's fine. Our normal procedure is, if you're working closer to the 35 foot, for even reasons like this, is that request a waiver, to do that. But if the tank is on, the 35, right about the 35 foot, it would be fine. We want to make it go to the wetland signs.
Mhm. We'd like to, but we're not going to.
Or we need to figure out a standard for that then
Mhm.
at some point, but that's a different topic.
We'll wait from standards discussion tonight.
Mike? Well, so that's your thought. I'll ask Mike and Pat what they think though. The wetland signs.
Bob.
He doesn't have his hearing aids, and so this is.
Yes, what? I
Sorry,
love
Mike.
how it's just you looking at it. It's excellent.
The wetland signs for this?
Remember the ones we had on?
Yeah.
Yeah, just because they're right up against the wetland.
Right to the edge. Does that remain like an optional thing, or is that something you want to do as a SOP standard
We don't
operating
think,
procedure?
I planted the seed. We should
Okay.
talk about it.
Got it.
Right now, it's project by project.
And this would be temporary?
No.
Oh, permanent.
Permanent?
Yeah, put a nail into the tree.
Keeps everybody humble. Keeps,
Yeah,
I think it's a good idea.
so
what's that sign for?
there's
That
no
means leave
downside,
things
why
alone.
not?
It is a bad idea.
It is a bad idea or not?
It isn't. And how many didn't we just get a whole bunch of them?
Yeah.
Like a 400 count?
Okay, let's table it for this one, if everyone's okay with that.
Yeah.
We have to discuss it though. It's a septic replacement. So I make a motion to continue, obviously, because we don't have a DEP number.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Continue to the next meeting.
Right.
Continue to
No,
July
DEP,
9th
so we
Right.
can't really-
meeting.
But we've poked it enough where we'll move right through it when it gets to us.
Second,
Second,
second, roll call vote.
Mike Dodd said yes?
James Cronin, yes.
James Gates, yes.
Pat Jonah, yes.
So just to make sure, I'm the signage, you're not talking about with this project, but you ought to bring it up
At some point.
at some point.
Yeah, we just did a notice of intent for a new house. And we requested them to put signs up every 50 feet or something. We provide the sign.
Yeah.
And the nails.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Bloomberg does
It
it, I guess.
keeps,
Yeah, we did for quite a while. So I think they still do.
Yeah,
Because I know when I was the agent with Lunenburg, we had a whole box load of signs and we would give them out. And it would have to be every 50 feet.
you guys did what X amount of feet, yeah,
It was every 50 feet.
it keeps people humble, keeps them online that, all right, there's gotta be a reason for that. And if they're every 50 feet,
If they go sell down the road, they'll see it too,
Yeah.
think,
So years ago, what they used to do was they used to do the boulder demarcation.
yeah.
But what we found with the boulder demarcation is some people would roll them away. It's amazing what people put energy into, or they would not touch it, and the vegetation would grow over the boulders, and you would not see the boulders anymore.
Mother
So
Nature can hide.
maintaining the signage was considered a better idea.
But I would throw this one out there, bring our budget crisis, shed some light on it. We're reusing file folders now.
Listen, we're all under budgetary restraint. He's recycling.
I know he is. It has nothing to do with our agent. He's just trying to work with what he has.
Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah,
Thank you, Matt.
have a great time on your trip.
Thank you.
What's he getting out of town? Oh, Ruben?
Cancun.
Cancun, nice.
Colby, do you have a copy of the letter that you sent out to Peter J. Drive?
Is that next? Yeah.
Yes, it is. You were? Oh, it's right here, never mind. Never mind.
Have a good night,
Never
folks.
mind.
Take it, we
Good to
don't
see
see
you all
you
again.
Have a
Good
good
to see you.
vacation
Thank
or
you.
sabbatical or whatever, retreat.
Just 1 week,
It'll go by fast.
just enough to not want to come home.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Goodbye, Massachusetts. I'll never return.
Have a lovely night, folks.
Thanks,
you
you
too.
too.
All right.
I was afraid of this.
Good.
These are too good.
Oh.
Right? They last a while. It's
I've
not
never
like-
had them before, so.
All right, so going to,
Where does
approximately
it go
7:30 at
next
7:52, property owners, Sama and Ahid, Gurgis. Gurgis,
then? Nice job, Jimmy.
to respond to notification of encroachment onto Townsend property, mark, map and parcel 1980-80-0. If you don't mind coming to the table and introduce yourself and we can. Colby, if you mind,
You can do pictures
for this one.
and chat. Have you lived there quite a while?
Oh, yeah.
How long have you lived there on Peter J. Drive?
Like 4 years or 3 years, something
3 or
like
4
that.
years,
Would
it's
you like
nice.
a candy?
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
This is how we get,
Very sweet.
this
Thank
is how
you.
we get you to join.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Candy now before you know it.
Colby, I'm gonna have you take the reign on this one. Because the select board has asked us to do this, what,
Why do you have to recuse? You're
I'm
not
not
recusing yourself.
no. But I'm asking Colby to take the lead on this one, just,
Most familiar with it?
yeah. Okay. So obviously we had a positive interaction.
Do we need to read the letter? or-
No, we don't need to look at the letter, I just,
All right, hi. Hi
Hi.
again, thanks for coming.
No, thank you.
So the way we found out that there was some encroachment from your property and a couple of your neighbors actually too, but was that we just did a survey, as you're
Yeah.
aware. And they actually surveyed kind of around your fence area.
Yeah.
So that's really how we became aware of your fence and chicken coop being on
Yeah.
the town property. Yep, I met with your wife in person at the house, and then you came in, and Mr. Gurgis has
Yeah.
been more than willing to come in and
Thank you.
get this sorted out. And this is where I guess we have to put it back on the commission to see what the solution is, or what you foresee the solution being. I can't point out all the documents that I have on here, so maybe I'll do that. Up on the screen right now, I have the surveyed map of our
Yeah.
property.
it's not here.
Okay. And let's
Thank
see,
you.
can I zoom in? Let me see if I can.
He's good.
I know,
He's making me nervous.
every time we do one of those, like, it's like.
I know. Well, you know, we've been running the show, so.
I'm sure it's gonna be funny to see your property up there on the screen, but,
So Colby, the lot 11 is encroaching. What other lots were?
well, it's lot 10, and a little bit of lot 9. And they're mostly open areas, lawn area being expanded, but,
Did you get any?
I have not, because I didn't have the timing was enough for this meeting, but, I will be visiting them next week. To get them
So
on.
next week, we'll expect 3 more people?
I believe it's
Two
2 property owners.
2 more property owners. 3 all told?
Yes.
That are definitely, this is what we have?
Yeah.
Okay.
at least have a conversation with them, you know?
Oh,
'cause,
no, I mean, they've gotta know.
That we don't bite.
Oh, no, this is purely an informative situation. There's where the town boundary is.
Okay,
This is yours.
If-
This is ours.
go ahead, Goldie.
So, up here on the screen, you can actually see like this angle of the fence here. You see where that is right there? It actually goes right along the property line or on top of it, maybe.
Yeah.
My suggestion is to bring the fence back to that area. I don't know how much, well, just from peeking over the fence. I don't know how much movement there is in this area as far, there looked like some patio type things, in the chicken coop.
Yeah, exactly. What happened is like a mistake is happening, you know, like I bought the house while pandemic and my agent, she showed me the property and has like a tunnel in the back, all right, in the wood. She says, this your property line was deep inside. And I said, okay, are you sure? She said, yes. And I take blood plan from the lawyer, from the attorney with the closing. It's different thing. And I take this one, the blood plan, I give it to the company, I give it to the guy, I said, this is what I have, and I give it him. And I stop by to the town hall, I ask, is any problem if I did fencing, whatever? He said, no, just you have the blood plan.
Go buy it.
Yeah, exactly. I give it to the company, and they built up. And the way they did it, I don't know how this happened. How come I take like blood plan with different way from the whatever is supposed to be from the town? This is a mistake is happening. And I did the fence only for one thing. I don't have any neighbors around, all right? And I have only one neighbor, very friendly, and we are really very close. We are at the same, and the family we have it. But the problem is we find one time like a big black bear came into my property, and I have 4 kids. I have 2 of them too little, and I'm afraid like anything like this can attack my kids. That's why I did it. It's costing me a lot of money. Oh, it's huge. I have a picture for this one if you want to see it. It's a huge, and I get afraid. I have 2 little kids to play in the playground, like in the back, the backyard.
You gotta do what
That's
you
why
gotta
I
do.
did it. You know, like this is the only thing I did the fence. You know, like.
Before we get too far with this, this is a matter of you knowing just where the boundary line
Yeah.
is.
Well,
And
so,
you'll be more than glad to move the fence right where it needs to be.
Yeah.
And that will resolve your needs for us.
Not mine, but-
Well,
I
they
understand
all
what you're
know
saying.
it.
we all live in town, including yourself.
Yeah.
So,
So my next question is, how big of a, from where the line is it, 2 feet, 3 feet, 4 feet? I'm seeing very little.
well,
Very little.
it's a,
Very little. And I have my
Okay.
property. Yeah, I'm sorry.
So, in the chicken coop,
Yeah.
you can move it.
Yeah, exactly. I will do it because I
Keep the
thought.
chickens inside the fence away from Yogi Bear.
Yeah,
So this is gonna be, I think this is just gonna come out
it
wonderful.
was a mistake, seriously. But to be honest with you, I have blood plan. I give it to the company. I pay a lot of money. You can imagine
so
for this
you
fence.
gave the company your plot plan though.
Yeah, I give
Go
it.
ahead. So
Yeah.
it's not surprising
Yeah.
because this does happen
No, I get shocked.
occasionally, if not regularly,
Yeah,
where
I don't know how come this happened. You know, like seriously, I get shocked. Like, how come I get blood plan and it's different from? That's why I stopped by to the
Oh,
town hall.
We've seen some pretty interesting deviations of what a plan should be,
Wow.
so it'll happen. I see a very small infraction here. I
Yeah.
see
Oh,
it
yeah.
very easy for you
Yeah.
to
I will fix it.
correct it.
Yeah,
we're not
you are the best.
we're not
seriously.
talking, you know, we're not gonna sit
He
there
was
and
trying
find
to say
you.
we are the best. I
I know.
thought I was hearing him come out with that.
Yeah.
But I
They want to go to
appreciate
your
that.
head.
No, thank you.
Yeah, we have wanted to discuss it, and we appreciate you being here, because a lot of the times people won't even answer the door,
No, I
sign
can
the
do
certified letters, or
You
show
try to
up.
do the best for everyone. I have to be here. I'm very responsible, you know, like,
Yeah,
since
love it.
I like to respect the law.
Proactive, we're seeing it. I
Yeah.
love. And
You have to set the
I really did
example for the
admire
neighbors.
the chicken design.
Yes.
That was
Yeah.
kind of neat looking.
So-
I like that.
Yeah.
So
Innovative.
Colby, we're talking just, if you're willing to move your fence and
Yeah.
everything to the property line.
Yeah.
Perfect, great.
At the end of it.
You know, there are iron pins at the corners, and it's a straight shot, so that's your best bet.
All right.
Quick and easy.
Yeah, I will make it. Yeah.
So,
Okay.
but can you still give me a rough idea? It's just a matter of a few feet from what you saw?
I'm guessing
10 feet.
it's 10 feet about.
Without scaling it.
So you're not gonna
You
miss too much of your yard
Yeah,
area.
exactly. I understand.
We'll
Yeah.
recover.
And even, but seriously, I wanna respect like the law. I wanna follow whatever you tell me, I will make it. Like seriously.
Listen, and you can come to visit us anytime you want at a conservation meeting.
We have openings, we have two
Seriously, you are
openings.
the best. You are very nice.
We're not
Seriously,
You know?
Are there chickens in the chicken coop?
Yeah, I thought in my property, that's why I built up for my kids, but
Kids need that.
yeah,
They need the experience of where does an egg come from?
exactly.
Go get some eggs from mom. I
Yeah.
love it.
I did it for my kids.
It's a
To be honest with you.
really
I'm
nice
very
stuff.
busy. I have no time for this, but only for my kids. I want to make them happy, and
And
that's why I'm
safe.
trying to do my best and safe too.
Isn't that
Yeah.
Don't you love Mother Nature out there with the big beard?
Exactly.
You gotta love them, you gotta respect
Yeah.
it, but
Oh,
it's,
did you have pictures of?
How old are your
You want the
children?
big pictures?
I have now. I have one.
Chicken.
She's going to the college
Yeah,
next
photos of
year.
chicken
Yeah.
coop.
Yeah, one in high school. I have one 12 years old. I have my last one is 9 years old.
Oh,
Yeah,
goodness.
busy.
I guess
one in
so.
college and
Yeah.
one in high school, that's it.
Yeah, I
You
have
start
my
somewhere,
wife.
Mike.
She take care of the kids. Me,
Tell me
I
when
do
to
the
stop.
job.
Yep.
We help
Oh.
each other.
What are we looking at?
That's great.
Yeah, thank you.
The actual pictures of the fence line.
And foot rule.
So,
Yeah.
you like Townsend, the schools,
Yeah,
everything?
absolutely. I love it. Seriously, it's a very nice town. All right, people very friendly here. That's why I like it. It's a small town. I drive 45 minutes
Try to
out
find a
every
good
day
one, Mike.
to my work. Yeah, because I want to stay here for my kids. This is the important thing for me. That's why I decided my wife, she stay home to take care of the kids,
Mhm.
Yep,
and me, I take care whatever the job I
you
want
gotta do what you
to
gotta
help
do.
each
That's the
other.
neighbors.
That's why I have very
Yeah.
nice kids.
Yeah.
My kids, all of them, they are servant in the church.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful. What
very
is your
very nice
daughter
kids.
going to college for?
She's going to
She's
Boston Medical. She want to be a doctor.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
I can give you a
The
reference.
other one, she
Two.
want to be lawyer. It's going to be next year.
So,
And the
Mike,
third one, she want to be engineer. That's why
If
I'm
you're
trying to do my best
here,
for my kids.
that picture
all of them
is
very
like
good kids.
standing right here, looking this way.
Trying to get his kids through college, get ready, they're on
Looking
their
this
way
way.
to you.
I'm
Yeah.
paying for braces
I
right
do
now.
my best, Yeah.
That's a-
But seriously, me and my wife, we do very hard job.
All right.
That's why my wife, she keeps eyes on
Oh, yeah,
and all the time.
that's
and
called
So
mama
that-
bear.
Yeah, exactly.
Mama
What else you want to bring
Yeah.
up?
No, is that the backyard?
Okay, so.
Yeah, so it's,
he did
so you
a
can see
lot
where
of
the,
things.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
where the,
Yes.
what are they called?
those
Those aren't hen blocks.
What
Whatever.
are we looking at? The
I was
kind
trying,
of
yeah.
arborvitae's,
No, those are
pine, spruce.
So there's a little
Evergreen.
kitty corner in the fence there, which was on,
Yeah, so look,
and it kind of comes across here.
In the back of your house?
Well, it's 10 feet-ish.
Yes, it's a shed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So he's not gonna all of a sudden lose a bunch of his backyard. 10 feet, about from here to that wall.
yeah,
just
no,
one-
one bit of the garden if you're looking at it from the picture. But,
As long as the
okay, well,
chickens are
I'm not
be
gonna,
safe.
I'm not gonna drag this one out. Obviously, there's no need to. You're setting a great example for your neighbors that are gonna have to come and see us next,
Yes.
so.
I talked to my neighborhood.
They
They said, we are friends. Keep it like this. If you want to sell it or me, I will sell it. We can do something. But for now, you good to go.
Looks like
This
he's
was he
gonna
said.
be a rep for us.
Yeah, we
You're gonna
are
love
friends.
conservation.
Yeah, we have very
Excellent.
nice neighborhood. We are very friendly together. Like we have
You
a good
got it.
relationship.
You got a small neighborhood, small town.
So-
Yeah,
everybody
nice
knows
people.
each other.
Especially the area I have it. it's very nice people, seriously, very friendly, and I love it so much,
So the owners of, whatever,
Just keep
Number.
reaching out.
no, they were on Peter J. Drive, Osama.
Two
Yeah.
more, though.
What?
Two more to reach out to.
Yes, and it's agreed to move this fence to meet the property lines and, you have a copy of this one?
Yeah, I think I have it. Yeah, with Lara, I took it. I think it's the same one.
Copies of ones I blew up a little bit.
Look at this.
That might be good. Yeah.
I can
I should
almost-
pass
And I
out.
can give it to
There you go.
the contractor, and he can do the adjustment
So-
very soon.
On the plan, and it's lighter ink, but it says IR, and that's iron rod. So there's two iron rods at
Yeah,
an
I saw
angle.
it. Yeah,
And then that a straight
Yeah.
line to those.
okay,
So
Okay.
that way you don't have to go having to pay a surveyor.
all right. Thank
But
you
if
so
you
much.
do, I'd recommend who's on the plan because he already has all the
Yeah.
information.
Yeah, thank you
It
so much.
that'll save you money.
Yeah. Thank you.
But, yeah, I don't see a vote needed for this. Work with us and we'll give you some time. We'll
Yeah.
check in with you at the end of the summer.
Yeah, probably this summer I will do it for sure.
So-
Yeah,
Two words out of my mouth.
Beautiful.
thank you.
This is wonderful.
Thank you so much. You are the best.
Wonderful.
No,
God
thank you for
bless
joining
you.
us.
Seriously, no. God bless you, all of you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate it for
I
everything.
didn't see that. God bless coming to you today.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for
Thank you.
everything. God bless you.
Have a great
Thank you so
night.
much. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you once again.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you. And have a good night.
Thank you.
If only all of those are interactions with the general public.
Don't you think I can get a couple lessons from him? I had to do that. No,
Oh.
wouldn't it be great if they were all like that?
All right, so it's 8:08. 3.1, reappointment request by our own Tricia Gemolo. She has submitted a request to be reappointed to Conservation Commission following present term. I make motion that we request reappointment for Pat.
Second,
My thought said yes.
James Dorian, yes?
James Gates, yes. You get a vote too.
Can she?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right, she can. You're right. What if she said no?
Adios.
Wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah, that's right. She's
I-
no
I-
choice. Two against one,
She's
three against one.
it's only one vote.
So I'm sorry, Pat, I guess it doesn't matter if you
So
said
Jimmy
no
is-
anyway, just
Okay,
curious.
so that's actually 3.2. 3.2, Town Property Committee, representative, suggestions. Is that how it was written?
Who we're gonna send over to the,
Who we're going to,
liaison, is that what you're referring to be?
no,
No?
it's just the representative. So I make a motion that we appoint, Kevin Smith as
Right,
the Conservation Commission rep, because right now he's currently a general member.
correct.
I make a motion for him to be the Conservation Commission rep for the Towns and Properties Committee.
He's,
Is there a second?
Second?
Okay.
Like, what's the second? Jimmy, discussion?
no, keep Kevin right there.
Roll call vote
My thought
starting.
said yes.
James Ron, yes.
James Gates, yes.
Pat Gemolo, yes.
3.3,
See, now Kevin has no choice,
That's
because it
right.
was 4 against 1.
3.3, reappointment request, for Jimmy, or by Jimmy Derorian. He
Oh.
will be submitting a request tomorrow.
Come on.
Better.
Reappointment
I'll come
to
get you.
Concom following his present term. I make the motion that we request reappointment for James Derorian. Is there a
I
second?
second that.
Second.
My thought said yes.
James Dorian, yes.
James Gates, yes.
Pat Gemolo, yes.
Wish Kevin was here, I wanted to hear him say that.
We just cruised to that. Do you mind, sending the select board all of those?
Yeah.
Including his, he's gonna submit
Yeah.
tomorrow.
I'm gonna send it to Val, she's already asked for updates.
Oh, Val is our,
Liaison.
Yeah,
Or you invite her to
she
the
seems
next
very
meeting.
nice.
yeah.
Actually.
She's very nice.
Sorry?
Let's throw this on there.
Oh, that's
Can you
right, you
please-
weren't at the meeting.
Oh, was she at the last meeting?
Yes.
Mhm.
Then never mind. Sorry.
No, I would say send her to another
Was it
meeting.
on the
She-
agenda for the last meeting?
I don't know, she just was here and she was very engaging. I thought,
Yeah,
found her to be
she's
very
back there.
pleasant.
Oh,
Had a good feel of what we're doing and appreciated, you know, our efforts and volunteering.
If it was a formal introduction, if she was just sitting in as,
No, she
Yeah.
formally,
She was formally introduced, yeah.
what happened?
All right, I have a question. Is there any way I have any other, like, to buy it or like to buy whatever is supposed to be like this bar, whatever I take it over? You know, I can buy it or just move the fence
Oh, buy it from the town.
from the
No,
town.
that
Is
would,
this an option like this or?
unfortunately,
that would
Yeah.
be
take a small act of
very,
Congress.
very difficult,
Yeah.
unimaginable process.
Yeah, I kept it in my mind. I said
Right.
probably.
No, it doesn't hurt to ask. I like
Yeah.
to throw stuff like that
Yeah.
out to the
Right.
state every so often.
Yeah. I do. Thank you so much.
Good,
So,
good,
no, it was a
worth the
great question.
Yeah,
Worth the
thank you.
question.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That would be, wow.
We should find out what the actual, or if there's a more detailed explanation to,
If somebody could do that,
yeah.
that's a slippery slope.
Can I have the sign-in sheet for this meeting, actually?
I mean, at what point in time does squatters come into it?
Yeah,
There's a
okay,
certain
yeah,
period
slippery slope, no.
Exactly. I can't,
Um,
I hate all that. I'm a weak man. Thanks, Jennifer. Don't do that.
correspondence, Townsend Property Committee, representative,
Yeah, I kind of got backwards there a little bit. With the, he asked for us to review some of the properties that the town owns. See if we-
oh, yeah, that was 3.2, but, oh, yeah, sorry.
Okay.
No, that was my own fault for writing in something.
Back it up to a work session or just
Yeah, so,
doing correspondence?
no, because I inadvertently mixed the town property committee things up. So, when we did 3.2, it should have actually been 4.1, so my apologies for mixing these up. We're gonna, so we've already done 4.1.
Yeah,
We are going back to 3.2, which is town property committee. That's why I wrote property twice. Property suggestions.
TPC,
So the town
Kevin?
properties. No, we're not doing reps. We've already done that. That's very good to read off. The town properties committee has voted unanimously to recommend to the select board the following parcels be under the Conservation Commission's control. New Fitchburg Road, parcel 10-20-0, or sell to the State Department of Conservation and Recreation, DCR, or Department of Fish and Wildlife. Laurel Drive, parcel 16-49-130, 16-49-131, and 16-49-132. Tamarack Lane, parcel 16-49-140, Sumac Drive, parcels 16-50-52, 16-50-53, 16-50-54, 16-50-55, 16-50-56.
are these like
Hold on, I'm not done.
slivers?
No. They are the Emery
Hold on.
Drive.
Let me keep going, and then you guys we can, and it, Colby, if you don't mind actually pulling it up.
Yeah, can I share the screen again, Hartley, please?
So there's one. Elm Street, parcel 17-105-0, off Worcester Road, parcel ID 17-66-0, and then Riverbank Terrace, parcel ID 18-27-0. This parcel is the east side of Adams Dam. The dam must be certified every year, and an article is put forth in a town meeting for this certification to be done. The cost is around $5,000. Proctor Road, parcel IDs 42-1-29, 42-1-30, 42-1-31, 42-1-32, 42-1-33, and 42-30, or -1-34. That was way worse than reading a legal ad.
So I can buzz around town pretty easily showing you things.
I mean, these are these properties that didn't make the grade for the auction?
They're
Or,
mostly unbuildable. Most of them are unbuildable due to wetlands.
so that should go through a review, what is the worth of it to conservation when we get.
Oh, no, this is definitely a kick to someone else to manage,
Right, what are we gonna do with landlocked pieces?
or whatever.
We won't have accessibility to.
The state one.
A lot of them are accessible, very accessible. Just.
All right.
And it won't take, I know how to get to them pretty easily if you want to let us know. Check them out there.
Yeah,
I'm just wondering, what is the worth of them? I mean, what's the best way for us as individuals to get an overview?
What's the environmental value?
What is I mean, you gotta look at a parcel like that.
Oh, hold on, let's,
You just read
Take a look
off
at them.
like 30 of them.
I know. So, if you don't mind, fully starting on New Fitchburg Road.
All right, start on New Fitchburg, what's the actual acreage of it, and,
2.5 acres-ish.
okay. New Fitchburg,
And, let's see, where is it? And I can zoom out it for reference if you need. So it's this property right here. Is that coming up there okay?
yep,
it's the little
Click on it.
This
half a
hourglass
behind 3 lots.
Bring it up a little bit better.
Yeah.
And I walked this one today, and all in here is pretty much BVW,
Can you click on it?
in which way?
The
wetlands?
actual parcel.
Can, I don't know how much information.
So that's a
scroll
2.5
over.
acre piece that has road frontage.
Hold on. Well, he's gonna pull it up, yes, 2.5. Okay.
All right. And I can bring up whatever you want on it. I can bring up the
Well,
tax
what?
parcel.
so that,
And we acquired it by
hold on, you're not on
Jackson
the,
Falls.
you're not on the right property.
Not that one.
Nope.
This is it.
Click on it again. Yeah,
That would have to be it.
It's a zero address.
yeah, but there's plenty of zeros on Turnpike Road. You can't click on it to pull up the property, the assessors thing again.
No, I can go through the assessors.
We have to have an
No,
actual road number.
no. Go back to that property and click on the actual property like you did before where it popped up that window.
I think I wrote a minimized it, and I think that might.
No, it comes right up in the screen. No?
Click on it.
Is it a different tab then? How did it come up before? No. We really should be referencing the town tax map too.
I can do that quick too. Okay. So we need 1020. There it is. 1020. It's right here.
yeah, it looks like the same
That's the
one.
same one where you clicked on to, yeah.
Is that, do you want more than that? Or
Nope.
Go back to
So
this map.
the other map, when you had that window pop up, it had a different number, but you didn't scroll over all the way, so I wasn't sure. But okay, I'm just making sure that we're looking at the same property so that, because why would Mass Wildlife want that property?
Is that other large piece, is that Mass Wildlife?
Yeah, what's that, 19?
This here, this is.
No, that's not, that's a
This is
property.
private.
They just tried to, sell. It was just for sale
Yeah, I
last
don't
year.
understand
That
that
piece-
concept.
Yeah,
What piece is that specifically? Who?
across from Kings.
53.
From George and Bill's?
It has-
Yeah, down the hill a little bit more. So that they have a big Quonset hut in the back,
Yeah,
a small raised ranch in the front, big kind of yard. Rumor has it that there's a granite quarry on that property, but
This is probably the most
is that where
difficult property
Timmy,
that you picked to start with.
they logged that, they just, it logged it.
I don't know, but maybe, I don't know.
Yep, near Jonathan's Landing, yeah.
What is, does anyone know the history with this? Because I would suggest that this back portion is buildable. But I know it's in an aquifer, 3-acre area. I don't know if that can be.
I don't know, but when I saw that originally, I said to myself, it's got road frontage. More than enough road frontage to put a lot, it's a 2.5,
Where was Kevin when we meet?
It is a 3-acre.
it's 3
Yeah, but
acres.
you can have,
For, in that map there for the aquifer, aquifer protection zone.
It could be. It'll take us forever to go looking at them like this.
no, my specific reason was why is,
A buildable lot.
no, why is DCR or Fish and Wildlife interested in that property?
Oh, they are?
It says it on the letter sent to us from Townsend Properties Committee.
Now, I don't know that they are. I think that this comes, that
Was that
it
for
just
all?
might have been a suggestion from the town properties committee.
Yeah, but usually, well,
You gotta understand, DCR and Fishing Game do real estate fishing.
right, so it makes me wonder, okay, whatever, I'm probably just muddying it. Can you show us the Laurel Drive ones?
Yep.
Laurel Drive up off Clemens,
Laurel Lane. Here,
Laurel Lane.
1, 2, 3, and 4. And you can
Those
see they're all,
must be in aquifer protection area there.
Well, no, it's wetlands.
these are on, I went and visited these as well.
Wet,
Yes.
How many-
soaking wet?
How many
Yes.
acres approximately, do you think?
Total, I think they're half an acre each, if I'm not
They're half
mistaken.
acre each?
Yeah, in that neighborhood.
And there's 4 together?
Yes.
1, 2,
This
the
only
big
has
one and
3.
the other 3?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh,
So this, hold on,
Between.
yeah, so this, or where's, okay, Tamarack Drive, that's the other one, that's the one they're talking about.
Tamarack as well.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I was counting on Laurel Drive, it has only 3 listings.
Yep, and
What?
there's no properties with roads, with driveways on this road here. There is a gate across here.
Oh, so it's a dead end road.
It is a dead end,
Okay, okay, so that's kind of nice in its own merit.
big cul-de-sac over here.
And what is that property out there beyond that?
I think that's wildlife management.
Okay, okay,
Somebody correct me if I'm wrong.
No, pretty sure.
probably right.
I might be wrong.
No, I think, pretty sure you're right.
That is a very large tract.
Well, pull it up and, maybe it isn't.
16.
No, actually, I don't think that one was.
16, I don't think it is. It's something like that. 1646. Wow, I should have tried clicking. Wrong way.
I think,
Oh, yeah. you're right.
It's not even on that
It's
map.
not on that map. But that doesn't, I mean, doesn't really matter anyway. I can look that up later.
Did you try to click on it?
Dan Colburn Way.
There's a guy named Dan that lives there.
Dan Colburn, good guy, good guy. Down to the last one.
I can give this back to you, you can refill it.
Oh, my bad, Sam. Oh,
Oh.
But to your question, I think
reel it in.
The
When I-
only value
It's
is
Townsend Ronnie Gun Club.
Oh, it's,
Townsend Ronnie Gun Club. Okay, so
which they hold, how many? 300 something? I think it's
231.
231. 231.
while we're here in this neighborhood, there are a couple other properties. One not listed on there, but it's in, just because it got missed somehow. There's this one here that the town owns. It's a pond, marshy pond.
Marshy, is that its name?
Willow
Marshy
Drive.
Pond?
Um,
And that
and
looks
the
all
town
of
needs to
what?
do something with that as well.
So what parcel is that?
It's not on
It's
list.
not on this. Okay, then. But we can't motion on that without it being,
Okay. The other one on
Sumac.
Sumac, these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 properties, and this is Bixby Reservoir.
Okay, here we are. The bubbling bear. Pumping station.
2.4 acres there.
Again, not buildable.
Worthy of putting it into preservation for water preservation. I mean, there's a method to the madness with that.
All right, what about,
And that's a Bixby, that's a restricted water area, right? Isn't Bixby?
It's mostly privately owned.
Is it?
Yeah, this person over here, I don't know.
Really?
I'll look it up in a second.
Yeah,
I think it's, I looked it up, I couldn't find that it's a public water supply of any sort, even though it says reservoir. Maybe it used to be.
I don't know, but that, in that Timberley Park area, they did purchase a big area for the aquifer, just like they did on
Yeah, that would be the pumping station.
pumping station,
The
the brand new one.
I'm not gonna read who owns it. Yes, it's 92 acres.
Nice. Nice.
All right, so then Elm Street.
Oh, yeah. And that one is here, right next to the river. And for reference, the tavern, right here. There's the
Tavern meaning tea house.
so what is it?
So it's this one right here, it's triangle,
Ugh.
and it's a.
It's deep and
It
it's
goes
almost
one of
like
those.
it
Goes right-
crap.
It goes right to the river.
Yeah, so that one's 1.1 acres.
Huh.
While we're on Elm Street, what about Worcester Road?
Yeah,
Which is just up a little
there
further.
are two over there, just,
It calls for just one, but
I think both of these are up,
And those are on Worcester Road.
technically. You have to put it somewhere.
oh yeah, it's right behind.
Worcester Road is.
Yeah, it's right at the
here.
railroad track. That's 1 acre.
Is that's the one up here?
There. It's right.
That's more than a 1 acre tract.
Well, further,
Further?
right there. 0.
This one? The
Right
parking
here.
lot?
Nope, right here.
That
with
one?
Worcester Road.
I think it's the dam, is that the dam?
Right there, so. What? No, we're talking Worcester Road. The dam, Adams
Gotcha.
Dam is separate. That's the River Bank Terrace.
Yep.
This is not all dam.
What? What is it? Where are you going?
I'm going to 1766 Worcester Road. See,
You already did it.
No, just so you know, it's this one here. It's that peninsula.
The yellow mark, right?
1766 0.
No, so that is the River Bank.
So it's gonna be.
No, that's the east side,
Church's
never mind.
house, Woods. On the corner there.
Side of Adams Dam.
Yes, so that's the one.
Hold on,
above
but we
this.
didn't do, you found Worcester Road, cause it's up here, it's up, sorry, I'm pointing at my screen like you can see it, it's up here.
And that is not, what number?
Oh, you're on the town. I'm not, 17.
17?
Yeah.
Wait, let me just make sure I know that. No, 17. Yep. It's this one, the peninsula.
What?
Wheeler Sim.
No, I'm not gonna accept something that
We're
isn't
looking at
ours.
something that we can't, are you following at all what these are, these properties we're looking at?
Yeah, aren't you?
No. Bob is.
Can you go back, to the previous page?
Terrible.
Mapper?
No,
Okay.
yeah, that one. Go to the index.
Mhm.
Click on that. Oops.
It's just not a very good presentation.
What? Oh,
That's why it's called a work session.
True.
so it's at, not 49.
49. Okay.
And that's the one
Which doesn't
off
make
of
sense.
Worcester Road?
Yeah. It is what I think it is, but obviously that doesn't make sense. So is it, I was wrong then. So if you're going off 1766 off Worcester Road,
Want to see where it brings you?
you know, the peninsula, but
Or
you win this round, Colby.
Could be.
So how many acres is that then?
That was sizable. I don't
Because obviously I'm not
Oh,
paying.
you know what? It says about 5.3 acres.
5.3. Now, that has some degree of merit to it because it's so tucked into the river.
Now let's figure out then the River Bank Terrace one.
Is that over by Adams Dam?
So this parcel is the east side of Adams Dam. The dam must be certified every year and articles put forth in a town meeting for this certification.
Are you going to the Adams Dam property? Which piece is that?
1827.
Which side of the trestle? I guess.
The grain store slide.
So you're right. It's right here.
That one.
And that looks all of.
That's funny. Is there
This
building
is-
on our property?
Is that the back warehouse?
Yeah.
That's the back warehouse to the Farmers Exchange. right there.
Exchange. So you have an old access road into the back of that.
Yeah, so.
So that's
the town
what's all
access
of
is
what?
here. There's a
3
gate there now.
point something acres? 4?
We just said it. Hold on. Okay.
We
Let's
did
talk
just
about
say
this other part. Is anyone brought up to David Spears, the owner of Farmers Exchange, that his barn is on town property?
I would look into that before anybody brings up anything to Searcy. Barn's been there since. Maybe we'll have another thing like we got going on at I don't
Am
know,
I-
it's chicken coop, nothing.
Right on
We got a
your
whole
map,
barn.
right on your,
I'd have to, yeah, research that.
It shows a barn.
yes.
I don't know.
Look at, so
I can see right to that
Bob
corner,
was
right.
pointing to it.
You'd have to go into the deed, and I've actually brought the,
Poor Jane's probably watching this, who's Bob?
and I brought the deed up before, and, it's a long history.
We just put the gate in.
Hold on, well, the gate,
The gate just got put
the
in, what,
gate
2
isn't
years
the
ago?
issue.
No, I'm just saying, we
It
had
was
to
actually, I
finally,
think, 3.
yeah, we had to finally close that down, because the kids were just being kids.
So what's the long deed history?
There was a whole family that, dedicated it, or donated it to the town, but I'd have to go back and look at it.
Donated the piece we just looked at?
Correct.
For,
I forget the name of the family.
Yeah.
But this is all kind of,
what, Wobb's Tales?
no, it's just research that
Oh, okay.
we can't get into right now.
Oh, no.
Okay, so the,
All this stuff can be found through the registry of deeds. At least it's
Worcester,
good.
yeah.
Middlesex.
Middlesex? Why
the
is that?
the stamp certification, I didn't see that in the annual town meeting, was it?
The stamp certification?
Damn.
Yeah,
Oh,
The dam.
and you know as much as I know right now.
There's really not much to certify. That dam is
No, the state has come in and certify it. It's a
That-
it's a thing.
certify that it's in a condition that is non-repairable.
I have no idea. Maybe we should. Okay.
Oh.
I want to table this to the next meeting.
Make a subcommittee.
Because it'd be great to have Kevin here to discuss it. It'd also be great to know, the background to this dam.
Adams?
Well, sorry, the dam certification.
Because I mean, years ago, they used to board that to raise and lower.
And
That's when we
they
could
have grants
jump
for
off
dam
the trestle.
removal too now, or,
Yeah.
available. But,
Well, that's what they're doing at the VFW. They're gonna do that dam removal. That's slated pretty soon. They're gonna turn
Not
it into
until
a
we-
natural flowway.
until we,
It's owned by Fish and Game.
I understand that, but we have to approve it. They also owe us a, certificate of completion for that repair that was done.
Yeah, that's in the circular.
I thought you after about it.
That
Was there any-
that was under the emergency conditions. And
Yeah,
it was
and
shut-
you have
it
to,
was
you
shut
have,
out.
you
It
have
was
to,
closed.
no, it wasn't, because they didn't file for
They did
certificate of
file.
completion. They didn't file for a certificate of completion under that.
I thought we signed it off.
Maybe we did, but I don't
I'm
recall.
almost positive we signed it off after I had got it filled up and backgraded. So, I don't, whatever.
All right,
Moving.
do we have any other questions on parcels? I know there was a bunch from Proctor, which,
The Cranberry Bog.
okay.
And you've been going out site walking on a lot of these, doing some pictures and R&D and seeing what they look like.
Yep.
So the Cranberry Bog's right behind the high school.
Yes.
Do you recall how many acres?
When?
So that's off of Spalding Street, right? That's gotta be off Spalding Street, the Cranberry Bog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the other side of the,
Like if you're facing the high school from McDonald's, it would be off to the far left corner.
Yes. Behind the high school, yeah.
Yeah. Then you can see where it, yeah.
So it's like,
right here.
That should be a few acres.
yeah, it's,
Yeah.
just about 3.
3?
It's 1 acre parcels here or something. Something like that.
Half acre.
Half acre.
So,
I will put my pitch in here. I don't decide these things. It's up to you. But I think a lot of these only have environmental value.
A lot of them have what now?
Just
environmental value.
Yeah,
I wanna make, this. We can make a motion if you want.
to do
You don't
what?
know it's seconded the,
To
to
table this?
table it? Well, no, we can make a motion to, accept these properties.
To what, the Conservation Commission?
Yeah,
And we take
under our control.
ownership under our control?
Yeah, well, it has to be deeded to us. I'm not doing it any other way.
I would ask for, to table it to get more information on them. I'd like to take a peek at some of them. Did you get any pictures of any of these? As far as, don't we have a camera in,
I do. But, they're on my personal phone, they're not loaded up right now.
we'll get them all figured out, just what some of the worth of them
We do
are.
have an iPad in the office. You know that, right?
No, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, no, we do.
Okay.
You might wanna ask Nelson about it then, if you don't know where it is.
Right.
It could be just shoved in a drawer somewhere.
Right.
Everything else.
I recommend looking for
On
it.
the closet.
Closet.
And this is just out of my own thought and curiosity. With some of these pieces, they look like they were landlocked and they have real no nutritional value to them. What would be the worth of figuring out what the interest would be from certain abutters for them to buy and absorb some of that property to increase their footprint, gain that revenue, to put it into our coffers to go for some bigger purchases of property that would come down in front of us.
You could.
I think there's a couple of those that could be on
What
like
does
that New Fitchburg Road
demonstrate
parcel.
good environmental, like the water areas near all those particular sensitive areas that is of worth to us
Yeah.
to protect for our water sources and everything.
Right.
But other parcels that demonstrate just no worth for us in size or merit,
Well, and,
what if the abutters would say, yeah, I'll take
yeah,
a,
so
and
part
here's
of that, we can,
$60,000 for that lot.
right, or, yeah, even 10,000 at this point. But,
Well, whatever, we could probably get a nice.
but I'm pretty sure we need to request the deed to be worded that those parcels are
Under
in my,
conservation or
well,
put restrictions on.
yeah.
That's a legal question if you want to ask for it to be sold with a conservation restriction on it or something like that. Is that where you're going with it?
I don't know if conservation restriction is the right thing.
Depends upon what the lot yields, what it, is there flowing water, is it just one big pond or Bixby area, what, figure,
So,
evaluate
honestly, I
them
think
all.
Adams Dam would be a plus for us.
Because of the dam and wild and scenic area.
Yeah, and it's,
There's trails through there and it's the river, absolute riverfront area, so
Mhm.
should be protected. I mean,
the town owns it, it's not like anything will happen, but
Question.
yes.
So right now, the town owns these parcels, right?
Mhm.
And they're not maintaining them. If we own them, we don't have the capability of really doing much with them, maintaining them.
Oh,
So it's a,
environmentally, we really can't do much either.
No,
yeah, so basically it's open
Protection is
space, it'll
worth.
remain open space, and that's a good thing. Whether or not the town owns it, why does the town want us to have jurisdiction over these properties? If they know that we're not going to have
I think it
the
would
ability
be
to make. to
the
do anything with them.
environmental aspect of
it's a
it.
question of the appropriateness of who's in care of it, custody of it.
Well, I totally get that, yeah. So,
And right now, a lot of them are select board.
a lot of the what?
The
they're-
town,
The town select board.
Are the ones that are overseeing what is,
if it's just a plain town's property, yes.
oh,
Pat, what are your thoughts on this? And then I've got to,
pull the plug.
I mean, it would be good for us to have some of it, I guess, but I'm just not really sure. Maybe the larger parcels, or at least all the waterways.
yeah, like the one off of Worcester Road, the peninsula that I can find.
That being the size of acreage and its
Yeah, so
location
one of the
would be
things-
what we would wanna control.
One of the things for like the properties or the parcels off of Laurel Drive and Tamarack Lane, those are the fishing game, I mean, not the fishing game, the Rod and Gun Club.
And how did they get it? I mean,
Well, it would be great to figure that out with town council of, you know, can these be offered exclusively to abutters? At a
If it's a lot that's not gonna serve us in preservation or environmentally, and we look at it in evaluation that it would serve budding owners to absorb it, to increase their footprint of the property.
Especially with
and
Rod
make
and Gun
money.
Club, which I'm sure is in some form of, like, we know it, they're in chapter 6-1.
Oh, they're in forest,
Yeah, so that's what,
they've
that's
got
what I mean.
multiple headaches.
You know, they have,
Yeah.
not headaches, but
Yeah.
they already have the
Right.
deed restrictions in place, so, yeah, why not offer it to abutters like that?
But I'm not saying offering it to give it to them.
No,
It would be to increase the ability at one other point in time, wow, this.
We could do the
What
formula.
about that piece across the street from me? What if that ever came up for sale and we needed the money to buy it and we got we could make an offer? Wouldn't it be nice to have a large amount of money to say, boom, we'll buy it?
so, you know, that side of town, you got 2 acres on these parcels, on Laurel and the single one on Tamarack. Yeah, you could word it as, you know, half of what a house lot is going for.
Mhm.
Was then discounted or whatever.
Yeah.
So, I think will be the path we want, at least my understanding is explore the option of selling these parcels to abutters.
I think it's gonna be an overview on all of it.
And then how can we protect,
Should across the board?
Which one to sell, which one to
Take out
keep,
ones.
which one's gonna give us a nice
oh,
cold
hold on.
area on the river?
I think the one on Elm Street, Worcester Road and Riverbank Terrace. So,
You have too many lots to be able to,
I know, so I'm just gonna, how about this, I'll simplify it. I make a motion that the following properties, or the Conservation Commission accepts, the control of the following parcels. Elm Street, parcel 17-105-0. That's the little low area.
next to Deep Jenkins.
Off Worcester Road, parcel ID 17-66-0, that's the peninsula. And then Riverbank Terrace parcel, 18-27-0.
So you just vested interest in 2 or 3 for the sake
Three
of
of them.
conservation.
3 of them.
3 of them, but there's still
I know that, let me,
20 more.
I made a motion for those parcels.
Okay.
But, and I'll add the caveat that,
More
we
to
will
be
take into
reviewed.
consideration,
More to be reviewed.
we will take into consideration, of the remaining recommended properties, once, other avenues are explored.
Right.
I.e. asking, can we sell these to abutters?
Right, you gotta define what, when the select board says
Specifically about-
conservation has got control of them, but does that control allow what you just said for us to make
No,
a
that's, so
motion?
that's separate, that's separate, we're not,
Right,
I made a motion to accept the properties on Elm Street, Worcester Road, Burbank Terrace. Let's just vote with that. I made a motion,
I'll second
I second it. Roll call, vote, starting,
Discussion?
yes, we can.
Okay, so this doesn't preclude that whether or not we can get of the other properties if we want.
Right.
This is just.
Just for these three at this moment,
We have specific interest on
Okay,
these three.
specifically.
and then we can make a separate motion for those.
After more is reviewed
After
and
more.
oversight has
Well,
been completed.
Yeah, okay,
We'll go there
so I'll
next.
say, Mike Potts, yes.
James Strong, yes.
James Gates, yes.
Patrick Morris.
Now, I can make the motion or whatever, but I make a motion that the remainder of the parcels, the remaining of the parcel recommended to the CONSCOM, be explored or alternative disposal be explored.
Are they looking for us to give them an answer on this today?
No, but let's
Okay.
keep these wheels moving, because otherwise it's just gonna get stagnant. So
I get that, but
the
more,
motion is, we,
invested 3 lots, very, very interested in, and we left the option to be able to review further. if
but I
other
keep getting
lots are
interrupted. I just wanna make a motion that the remainder of the lots, we want an alternative proposed, i.e.
Yeah.
sale to abutters,
Yeah.
specifically abutters.
Because that could turn out to be a great setup. You know,
So-
there could be some abutters out there that say, wow,
Okay, Jimmy,
that's,
you can go out, you can continue your, what you're gonna say after, because I do think it is important. So,
Well, we don't have jurisdiction over these properties yet, so,
none.
right,
so is it word?
we're requesting them to look at an alternative
That,
disposal
that they look.
before we
Okay,
accept them.
okay.
So I don't know if I could wanna repeat the motion, because I've already gone.
Right,
Yes,
so we can hammer out the, the verbiage.
Can you hammer out the verbiage and good luck?
Yeah, okay.
Recording it, hold on.
If anyone can.
Yeah, you're gonna be more confused. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, okay.
Oh my
I'll say
God, it's 9
Mike
o'clock.
Potts,
So,
yes.
well,
Yes.
was there a second? There was no
Oh,
second.
second. Second.
Well, I second
She
it.
said,
Yeah,
To the second one?
yes.
Mike Potts said yes.
James Strong, yes.
James Gates, yes.
Patrick Morris.
So Colby, can you please? Pat had the second, for the record.
Mhm.
Maybe we wanna discuss these more of a fresher.
No, like,
I think so.
reach out to town properties, and I would, if you wanna reach out to Adam Costa about the process, or if it's even possible, you can, or make them do it.
Make them do it.
But
I think
again,
there's
the
merit
motion
to that.
was worded specifically of butters.
Right, right.
Okay.
What?
I think you're missing some opportunities here, though. So,
Well, yeah.
especially on,
All the motion was to explore it though.
I mean, we're
We're
not
that's
saying
like I was saying
no.
approximately on the agenda, right? Okay.
What do you think we're
All right,
missing?
all right, Sumac Drive.
Well,
I
no, what are we missing out on? Cause you brought it up.
If you look at this area, right?
He walked it and he knows what he's looking
This
at. What
big
he was
subdivision, there's not a lot of open space there.
in
Right,
Timbley Park.
correct.
No, Emery.
Sorry, Emery Drive.
Road. Emery Road.
Emery Road.
Yeah.
That's considered Timbley, isn't it?
Technically, I don't think it is. To me, it is.
Really? I didn't know we did that
To
much
me, it is. It doesn't
urban
mean it is.
concentration.
Okay, the open space aspect.
Yeah,
I think-
yeah.
I think you could provide an open area here for the neighborhood for fishing, some kind of sitting area, even maybe boat access.
Are they
And
not
that's-
able to do that now? Because it's town property?
I don't know that
They probably
they're aware,
Cleaned up.
but it's certainly choked off.
Right, just it's yucky and.
Yucky, yeah. But it needs maintenance.
Okay, but the motion was to explore, which I think is the key. You're not,
Explore
the possibility doesn't mean we have to go ahead and do it.
Right,
Or it might not even be possible.
Or the butters don't even want it.
right. I think a lot of this says that commissioners need to get their boots on the ground, look at some of these areas so we know what we're going yay and nay on too. Anyway, it's just my opinion. Let's keep going, finish this up.
I think the Proctor Road property should be preserved too.
Okay. So I,
I'll write something up.
the way I worded that motion was so that we could come back to this.
Okay.
And
Because-
if anyone, Kobe should be the one targeting some of these for what the work of.
Right. So-
Recommendations, right.
Right, I mean, if he's out in the field, he's looking at these absorbed by the butters,
So
create some type of park
just in
area.
case no one can get out there, or if only some of us can get out to those properties, can you get the pictures
Yeah.
uploaded?
Yeah.
And
And I
then,
have many pictures to send.
again, these are only, the wording was explore. And
And
maybe at
that's
the end
the
of the
way
day, we end up just
Right,
accepting them.
you'd like to have a better idea of what we're looking at and talking about, I'm sure you would too. I mean, if we're gonna put interest in something, I wanna,
Allowance to go boating in here too, or fishing.
where is that?
That's a bigger
Proctor
project.
again?
That's a bigger project.
Which one is that?
It's a,
The Big
it's a
speed project.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
So are we gonna continue this in the next meeting then? Go over some more of this?
what
What do you wanna do with it?
you report back to us,
yes,
what they say.
I'll get a more definite answer about when they wanna get these off the books, off their books anyway.
When does
Does
he
it
want to
seem
know?
like-
Hold on.
I don't know the specific answer to that.
Okay.
I just know they do.
Okay.
It's a
Cause it
priority.
seems like they're
It's a-
trying to do something because they auctioned off those properties, the waterworks is going.
It's because they can't do anything, they're just trying to clean up their inventory, I think.
That's what I'm saying, they're
They
cleaning
realize
up
they
stuff
should
with loose ends.
piss or get off the plot on these properties,
Cer-
basically.
Yeah,
Alright, so
get it functioning, get it into work.
4.2, select board reappointments.
That's, we kinda covered it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we already did.
So,
Education and conferences, MACC always has stuff going on. Natural River Watershed had some opportunities also, didn't they?
To go there,
there's all these
classes,
things coming up. There's so many things that
I don't-
can't make it to.
yeah, it changes daily.
Alright, so, and then, items for discussion next meeting, we have, 15 Proctor Road. And then, Michelle, climate action plan, which Jamie, you had asked. Michelle is the regional energy manager with Northern Middlesex Council of Governments. She's
There you
assisting Townsend's Energy Committee with the Climate Action Plan CAP, which will be a year-long process. We have completed a greenhouse gas inventory for the town and are now in the process of outreach and education for residents of the town. I wanted to introduce myself and see if there were any opportunities for collaboration, not only through these outreach opportunities, but also through the CAP planning process. Anything else we need to add? Any commissioner need to add? Our next meeting is July 9th, 2025. I make a motion to adjourn at 8:59.
I second that.
Done, we're done. Thanks, Hartley. Bye-bye.
Oh,
You're welcome.
your turn.
James Ryan, second.
No.
What did we just motion to shut the meeting, what?
Yes.
Yes. All right,
Can you do it one more time?
James Ryan, yes.
James Gates, yes.
Pat Dillon, yes.
Thought that's
Hey.
what I did. So yes, let's go.